Let's talk about this last episode of Love After Lockup. First, starting off with Karrington and Zay. So Karrington revealed that she's still out here on the dating apps, and I thought like she was just out here exploring, but no, she's got herself a whole side piece that we were introduced to. So she gets this video call from this man. She's sitting there cheesing on top of the world, talking to this man. This man is out here in the free world. It's like, I don't get why she just doesn't entertain this man. This man seems to have it together. He's got himself a job. She seems to be blushing and really feeling this dude's vibe. It's like, why don't you just go for him? And I think Karrington is just one of those girls that prefers her men as bad boys, who's a little rough around the edges, because I just don't understand why you want to pick a man who's got a clean record, who's out in the free world, who you can see on a day-to-day basis, versus a man who's locked up, who you can only entertain on the phone. And spoiler alert, Zay's still locked up at this time, so you don't know when the hell he's going to get out. It looks like he may not even get out for another year, according to documents, and that's not even fully guaranteed, it looks like. But anyways, she's entertaining this guy, and I'm not gonna lie, she's starting to remind me of Ty, with herself juggling all these different guys on the outside. And then next thing you know, we see Zay's sisters, and they're chilling up in this house, and then all of a sudden they get a knock on the door. They open this door, and this white girl comes strolling in the door, and this girl was like, oh yeah, Zay is my man, my man, my man. I'm like, what? This is the ultimate plot twist. I thought Karrington was going to be the only one up to some shit. Nope, Zay's up to some shit too. Apparently, he was dating this girl before he got locked up. Apparently they were like super tight. This girl was like the yin to his yang, and even all his sisters co-signed his relationship with this girl. They're like, yeah, we love this girl because she has proved her loyalty time and time again. Apparently she's been there for him the whole time. But what I don't get, I'm like, okay, is this just for a storyline? Because she's acting like she's been there for him all this time and they're so close. But this girl, McKenna, she didn't even know his release date. She had to ask his sisters when he's supposed to be getting out. I'm like, okay, if you're that tight with this man as you're portraying, then why don't you know when he's supposed to get out? Because of that, I'm kind of on the fence on how involved she really is with Zay. Honestly, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if Zay is hitting her up and getting money from her. But it seems like Zay's not as close to her as she's leading on. But she acts like her and Zay are about to get married or something when he gets out. She's acting like that's her forever and that no other girl is going to get in the way. But she's in for a rude awakening once she finds out about Karrington. And that's the thing, like, that's why you can't trust some of these people's, like, especially inmates' families, because they'll sit there and lie straight to your face for them. We see Goddess's mom, or not Goddess's mom, Damon's mom, lying to Bonita and Goddess when she knows about both women, but she's not letting either one of them know, and she's just smiling in both of their faces. And literally, Zay's sisters are doing the same exact thing with Karrington and this other girl, McKenna. They're sitting there smiling in her face, acting like nothing's wrong, everything's peaches and cream, but she's about to F around and find out once Zay really gets out of prison. But it looks like they're not going to be finding out anytime soon, since Zay's still locked up for at least another year minimum, and I wonder if both these women are going to ride it through. And then we learn that she even has Zay's name tattooed on her, so she shows off this tattoo on her stomach with the name Zay. And then I guess Karrington revealed that Zay acts like he got her name tattooed. I can't remember if Karrington got his name tattooed, but I'm sure it's coming eventually if she hasn't already. Then we have Keirsten and Brady. And this couple, oh my god, like Keirsten, if this goes wrong, honestly, Keirsten has nobody to blame but herself, because she's literally getting involved with this inmate who her ex admitted used to steal from them back in the day. I guess he was her next door neighbor at one point, and they had some stuff go missing, and then Keirsten went and knocked on his door, and she's like, hey, we had this stuff go missing, do you know where it is? And he played dumb at first, but then eventually he came back over. He's like, oh, I have no idea what happened. I think maybe somebody I had over took it, but I'm going to try my best to get your stuff back. Of course, he never got her stuff back. And even the ex was like, Keirsten, you're dumb as hell for dating a guy who was involved with stealing from you. And she's like, it wasn't him. Well, even if it wasn't for him, he was still friends with the person who did it. then we see Keirsten sit down with her mom, and she's talking to her mom about Brady about to get out, and shout out to her mom, because her mom was being a mother, saying the things she needed to hear instead of living in this fantasy world that Keirsten's living in. She's like, do you really think it's a great idea for you to have your kids around this guy fresh out of prison? And she's like, oh no, he's made an effort. He's gotten his life together. And the thing is, Keirsten married this man. So here she is married to this man that she's never spent a single second with outside of prison. And she's just taking every single thing that Brady has told her as gospel. This man's a career criminal, but she's convinced that he's going to get out and they're going to have this happily ever after. He's convinced her that he's going to get out, get this amazing job, take care of her, and she's just gonna sit around and be a little princess and live happily ever after. And I don't think it's gonna be that easy once he gets out. She's literally living in this fantasy world thinking of like the best option possible if he did get out, and I don't think it's gonna be that easy. I think it's probably gonna be the other way around, where she's gonna be working her ass off, taking care of him, while he just sits around like a little princess. We'll just have to wait and see. And she was trying to tell her mom that, and her mom was being a realist. Her mom was like, you don't even know this man. You've never spent any time with this man, and you got to remember this is prison talk. And the thing that worries me, it's one thing that you're getting involved with this man, but it's another thing that you got young children that you're bringing around this criminal and moving in with you as soon as he gets out. And that's the thing, like, I know y'all are married and everything, but she should really let him get out and prove himself before she just rushes and moves him in and brings him around her children. But that doesn't sound like anything she plans on doing. She's just gonna be dumb and be willing to risk it all regardless, because she's so in love, and risk her children being traumatized over this man that she really has no idea about. Like, yeah, you only know what he's told you in prison, but how is he gonna get out and get a job when it looks like the man's never even worked a real job all his life? Like, I'm not saying he's not gonna get out and get a job, but the idea that he's going to get out and get a job that's going to be enough to take care of you and your whole family being a felon, yeah, he might be able to do that, but it's going to be a lot less likely than she thinks it's going to be. And her mom was just being a realist, and it seemed like Keirsten was kind of getting annoyed with the questions her mom was asking, but her mom just wants to make sure that she's mentally preparing herself and thinking about the worst possible scenario so she's prepared for that in case it does happen. And then we see Keirsten, and it's the day of Brady's release. And she gets in the car. She's so excited. And since she has kids, she decided to get this hotel because she's going to pick up Brady, take him to the halfway house. And I guess they got like 8 hours once he gets out of prison. And the halfway house is like 6 hours away. So they have like 2 extra hours. And she got herself a hotel room. She's going to decorate it with rose petals. And she wants to go to the hotel and be taken to Pound Town by Brady, because that's the one thing they've been looking forward to all this time, is to be intimate. I mean, they're married. They never got a chance to consummate the marriage or have their honeymoon. So this is what Keirsten's looking forward to. But when she's in the car, she's driving to go pick up Brady, and suddenly she gets a phone call, and Brady was like, yeah, babe, so I just learned that we're not going to have no extra time, that I'm supposed to be at the halfway house in like 5 hours after I get released, even though the halfway house is like 6 hours away. You know, they're always having unrealistic expectations with some of these inmates when they get out. But I think they're purposely doing that because they want to make sure that he's not screwing around too much before he has to go to the halfway house. And she's like, are you kidding me? You mean to tell me that the freaking, I guess, his probation officer or parole officer or whoever's making him go to this halfway house is getting in the way of me getting dick? And she was so pissed off. She was going off, and she said, no, no, no. I want to be intimate with my husband. You need to figure it out. And if I'm not intimate with my husband when you get out, I'm going to be pissed off. And I understand getting upset because you've been looking forward to it. I'm sure you shaved your coochie. You're all ready for this. And you got the hotel, you got the rose petals, and wasted money on this hotel when she revealed she has less than $1,000 in savings. And she said that whole savings is going to be gone between what she spent on gas in this hotel room and for like food to pick up Brady. She's going to be down to almost $0 after all this. So here she is spending money on a hotel that she didn't even need to spend on, because now they're not even going to have time to stop there. And she was going off like, I would have been upset about that. But at this point, she's starting to act like Heather. She was reminding me of Heather, the way she was screaming and popping off and going crazy because she can't get take fresh out of the Department of Corrections. Like, you guys just need to make the most of what you have. Maybe you might have to do like what Matt did when you guys just pull over, go in the woods or go in the bushes real quick and get it in real quick and then keep it moving. They're going to have to be creative with what they do, but at the end of the day, she's just going to have to understand that it's not worth his freedom to sit there and risk stopping at a hotel. I mean, they can try it if they want to, but I don't think that it's worth the risk. And I think she's just going to have to learn to be patient until he does get that chance. And that's part of what comes along with choosing a husband in the Department of Corrections. You got to deal with the rules that they're on. But that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know what you guys think about these two couples in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching.